You're here because you don't have the time or the money to read the Avatar The Last Airbender comics. I get it, shit's expensive. So I'll spare you any boring introductions and just tell you what is happening in Comic 1, The Surge. Throughout the comics, the past of Zuko's mother Ursa is gradually revealed through flashbacks. When actually reading the comic, that is no problem, but it would be, for one, pretty confusing if I jumped back and forth between the past and the present here in the recap, and also a huge hassle to me, who's writing this script. So I'll first sum up Ursa's past for you, and then we'll take a look at the present adventure of Team Avatar. Alright, let's dive right into the biggest unsolved mystery from the show. Who is Zuko's mother and where is she? Ursa was born in a small village somewhere in the Fire Nation, living the life of a regular country bumpkin with a love of theater. But one thing made her significantly different from everyone else. She is a direct descendant of Avatar Roku. Because of that, she caught the eye of Fire Lord Azulon, who arranges a marriage between her and his son, Prince OZAI. Due to her newly gained status, the establishment forces her to cut all ties to her hometown, her friends and family, so that any traces of her former life are erased. That includes her former fiancé, Ikem. Fast forward a few years, Ursa has gotten settled in and born her 2 children. However, recently she's been secretly writing letters to her hometown through the help of an old woman who's supposed to deliver the letters. As expected, the woman betrays Ursa, delivering the letters straight to OZAI instead. Usually it's not much of a problem and OZAI doesn't even read through the letters properly. Until one day, the letter says that Zuko is not OZAI's child, but Ikem's. Suddenly it all makes sense. Why OZAI treated Zuko so badly all this time. As a reaction, OZAI sends an assassin to get rid of Ikem for good. Though the assassin returns without ever finding him, explaining Ikem has reportedly wandered off into a strange forest. He adds that Ikem is dead for sure, given the assassin visited the forest and can only describe it as pure hell. In spite of missing confirmation, OZAI confronts Ursa about the whole matter, telling her he killed Ikem, and that he knows she is lying. In fact, Zuko is OZAI's son after all. Ursa lied in that letter. She is not quite sure herself why exactly she did it. To test whether OZAI is reading her letters, to hurt him, and out of her deepest fear that Zuko ends up becoming just like him, wishing he was not OZAI's son. Being the psychopath he is, OZAI takes this all a little too personal. To punish Ursa, he decides that if she wants Zuko to not be his son, starting now, he'll just begin treating Zuko as if he wasn't his son. This is the actual reason why OZAI really abused Zuko to the degree he did. Some more time goes by until, as you know, OZAI appeals to Azulon to be made Fire Lord instead of the firstborn Iroh, who declines and in turn orders OZAI to kill his own firstborn, to feel the same pain Iroh was feeling after the death of Luten.
Leaves from the vine, falling so slow.
And yeah, OZAI is
still a piece of garbage.
Guess I'll kill my son today. The only reason Zuko is still alive is because of his mother. Ursa heard from Azula what OZAI is about to do and can stop him by proposing a deal. She gives him a single vial of colorless, odorless poison in return for Zuko's safety. Fortunately, OZAI accepts. On top of that, he demands of Ursa she leave the palace and never return. Out of fear, if she stays around, he'll be poisoned next. And the children? She's never seeing them again either. So while OZAI kills his father and becomes Fire Lord, Ursa returns to her hometown, heartbroken, plagued by the guilt of having abandoned her children. With her entire life in shambles, it's only fair one good thing happens to her. That is, running into Ikem. He brings her into the forest to a spirit called the Mother of Faces, who gives her a new face so she can start a safe new life detached from her past as Princess Ursa. Ikem also got a new face, by the way, which is why none of OZAI's people ever found him. And fun fact, the Mother of Faces is the mother of Ko, the face stealer. But anyway, that's not all. The spirit makes Ursa a special offer, a 2-for-1 kind of thing. If she desires, she can also get a new mind. and forget all the things relating to the parts of her life she wishes to erase. What she definitely does not want to remember is anything relating to OZAI. Yet, that evidently means forgetting Zuko and Azula as well. She is painfully aware of that it's wrong, but still accepts. Ever since then, she's been living a quiet life in her hometown, even having another daughter with Ikem, until Team Avatar arrives. This is our cue to switch to the present time. Following the end of the promise, Zuko decided, as a person, it's really about time he got to meet his mother. Because nothing else has worked so far, he is left with no choice but to ask his lovely and absolutely sane sister for help. Considering how he's keeping her imprisoned in a restraining jacket and now asking her for a favor, he tries being a little nicer to her, including letting her talk to OZAI. Typical Azula moment. Big mistake. One moment of inattentiveness opens a chance for her to escape. According to OZAI's orders, she gets her hands on Ursa's old letters, including the one that falsely claims Zuko is not the legitimate heir to the throne. Of course, Azula doesn't know it's not true. Thus, she plans on using this info to become Fire Lord herself. But first, she must find Ursa too, because she keeps having hallucinations of her, trapped in the delusion that Ursa hates her and has always been conspiring against her with Zuko. Consequently, she agrees to show Zuko where to find Ursa. Together with Aang, Katara and Sokka, they travel to Ursa's hometown. During the journey, Zuko steals the letter from Azula. He kind of has little trouble accepting it, even feeling relieved that he's not the son of a psychotic, narcissistic fire Hitler. When they finally arrive in the village, a lovely couple directs them towards the mysterious forest, recalling a woman called Ursa supposedly followed Ikem there. In the forest, Team Avatar finds the Mother of Faces, who explains what happened to Ursa, where she is and what she looks like now. Turns out, they just met her 5 minutes ago. Azula storms off to rip Ursa to shreds. Zuko runs after her, even arriving in the village before her. There he tells Ursa he is her son, despite her not remembering anything at all. In any case, a tragedy can be avoided, as he then manages to fight off Azula. He also makes very clear that despite their problems, he really wants to help his sister getting back on track. She's like, "Q," and runs off. A little later, Aang arrives, bringing the Mother of Faces along, who asks Ursa if she wants her old life back, which she does. At long last, mother and son are reunited, and have a lot of catching up to do. Subscribe to Frogtoons for more Avatar, cartoon and anime content. Stay safe, don't erase your memories, and see you next time.